Mute your phone when you're not talking, sisters.
Hmm?
Sister
Good
Mona, hold on, please.
morning. Good
Let me
morning.
turn on. Hold on a second. Let me turn off
I
this
can
thing.
hold on. We are on right now. Like I have to start the video all over.
Okay.
So I can't hold on. I've already hit the button. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, brothers and sisters. We are live on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. As you guys know, we've been waiting for some reason, I don't see my comments at all. Let me see. All right. So we've been waiting for our mother, our sister, Otumba Shade Olukoya. I don't know if I'm the right person to say this name. When
I can
Sister
help you
Mary.
out to say her
Those are
name.
there.
Yes. So
Her name is
I
Otuba Shade Olukoya of the
Yes.
Yoruba World Congress.
Awesome. So we thank you, Auntie, so much for joining us this morning. We are pleased to have you. We kept saying that it's our mothers that will definitely rise up and get this freedom for our people because our children, the lives of our children are in danger. The men, they typically
Definitely.
play politics with everything. They play politics with the life of our children. They play politics with their future. They play politics with everything. And we mothers
Then.
are just tired of it. This has been ongoing. Our sons will finish college, we will sell our last land, they will finish college, there is no job. They will get ready for marriage, there is no money. And we're saying enough. So thank God for mothers like you. Thank God for people like you that are there doing the work that is needed without making noise, knowing that we have no more time to waste. So again, my name is Mona Chimsaga. I am here in Houston, Texas, and I have my sisters with me. So let me have them to introduce themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Augusta Nasike. I'm here in Richmond, Texas, and we want to thank our guest today. It's eye opener for everybody. I just pray you all listen and grab something today. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And then Sister April, please go ahead.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Epi Simon Okube. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. We appreciate you, viewers and well wishers, especially those who stood with us through thick and thin. We are happy to announce to you that this ship is headed towards her final destination. We are moving from ignorance to knowledge, from darkness to light, from death to life. And as our Lord Jesus Christ said in John 10:10, he said, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. There is a huge difference between what the LNC MNN alliance is doing compared to what the destroyers and accusers of our brethren are doing. The difference is like light and night and day. So we pray that you will stay and watch and get educated. Stay blessed as you watch. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister April. And then I'm going to have our sister to introduce herself. Please tell us about yourself, Sister Olukoya.
Um, I really don't know what you want to know. I'm 68 years old. I graduated from the University of Ibadan in Nigeria. I worked briefly at IBM, then at the civil service. I left a paid job in 1984 to start my own business. And by 2009, I think, or was it 2008? Before then, around 2005, even though I couldn't join Pronaco then, I started what do I call it, political activism on behalf of Nigeria. And I've been in it all along, doing my business along with it, of course. And you wanted to know what an Otumba means. An Otumba is it's originally started as the children of a previous monarch are the Otumbas of the current monarch. An Otumba just means the right hand of an Oba, of a king, is the right hand. And even now they've bastardized it. A lot of people who are not even born of royal blood are Otumbas, but that's the real meaning. You are an Otumba because you were the child of a previous Oba. And the current Oba makes you his right-hand man. There are several of them, one from each ruling house. I'm representing my own ruling house. So anything. So that means I was born a princess, and I'm now an Otumba. And I'm also an Erelu Oba in waiting. That is, an Erelu Oba is like the leader of women in the old traditional Yoruba Council of Governance.
Right.
So,
Thank
that's
you so
okay.
much. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. So I'm going to play the video clip of the Freedom Park proclamation of December
Okay.
2018 that you were featured in, so that our people can understand exactly what we have in place today.
Okay.
All right. So today is my first day of manipulating these things. I hope I don't manipulate myself.
Mr. Chairman,
Go on, sister.
leaders of the various organizations of
Okay,
self-determination
so,
groups
can you guys
and
hear?
ethnic nationalities all over
The
Nigeria,
video playing.
members of the high table,
I can't hear. Yeah, is this supposed to go direct to Facebook?
ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen.
Going direct to Facebook. I don't know if our.
This is a joint proclamation made on behalf of the peoples of Southern and Middle Belt territories of Nigeria, proposing the deferment of the 2019 elections and the immediate undertaking of the reconfiguration of the damaged constitutional foundations of Nigeria. And it is presented at the World Press Conference on the 11th day of December 2018 in Lagos. And it is titled, The Distressed Federation of Nigeria, the repudiated 1999 Constitution, and the immediate imperative of a people's tantamount to a perilous electoral voyage. Again, the title, The Distressed Federation of Nigeria, the repudiated 1999 Constitution, and the imperative of a people's tantamount to a perilous electoral voyage. I will start with the protocols. Having watched in absolute horror, like trapped passengers aboard a rudderless ship of the Nigerian state sailing into deeper troubled waters by way of plunging heedlessly into further national elections in 2019 under the thoroughly disputed 1999 Constitution, we, the undersigned, on behalf of the regional self-determination initiatives across the Southern and Middle Belt territories of Nigeria, cooperating under the aegis of the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, hereinafter called the Alliance, wish to proceed as follows. Number one, that the history of the colonial beginnings of Nigeria as a British business enterprise is too well known to bear any further repetition, and so it would suffice to remind us that Nigeria was not the consensual project of its constituent component nationalities, and that 4 decades into the Lugadian experiment of 1914, the regional leaders of the forcefully amalgamated territories had no faith whatsoever in the artificial political union into which their peoples had been locked by the British, and so, while Alhaji Ahmadu Bello, as Premier of the Northern Region, lamented the British imposed union as the mistake of 1914, Chief Obafemi Awolowo had dismissed Nigeria as a mere geographical expression. Number two, recently declassified secret colonial records now affirm and confirm the heavy manipulations by the British to create a lopsided union in which what was packaged as independence in 1960 was, for the Southern and Middle Belt Nigeria, merely a transition from external British colonialism to internal caliphate colonialism, manifesting Nigeria progressively as a British Caliphate joint business venture, holding the South and Middle Belt territories and peoples in servitude. On this note, it is instructed to record the December 1913 description by the then Secretary for the Colonies, Lord Harcourt, of the impending January 1st, 1914 illicit annexation of southern Nigeria to northern Nigeria as the British marrying off the southern lady of means to the poor but well-conducted Nigerian youth, northern youth, and to point out that it was the celebration of this grand bequest that Ahmadu Bello had declared to his lieutenants in the very week of Nigeria's independence in October 1960, that
I'm
It's
sorry. I'm sorry. Again, I
audio
was
was
anti.
muted.
Yes, we were muted. So sorry, viewers. Like I said, this is my first time trying to manipulate this. What we were saying earlier is that the video was didn't finish as we planned for it to finish. As you can see, it went out. But we wanted to for Sister Otumba Olukoya to give us more insight, because we've already know that the union is a lopsided new union, and
Yes.
given to the Fulanis to hold us hostage on behalf of the British government. And
Yes.
the true owners of the land, are saying this cannot be any longer. So our sister is trying to give us more insight. Please go ahead.
So can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So what Ahmadu Bello said in 1960 is the basis of our current problems, apart from the British intervention. He said the new nation called Nigeria should be the estate of our great-grandfather, Usman Danfodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We use the minorities of the North as willing tools and the South as a conquered territory, and never to allow them to rule over us, and never allow them to have control over their future. This was published in the Parrot newspaper of 12th October 1960. So from that time, Nigeria has been in a sort of ding-dong, up and down, but we were managing, trying to see if we could manage it till the war broke out. After the war, we tried reconciliation again, but by 1999, it became, when we thought we were going back to democratic process, a democratic union, Obasanjo came in on May 1999. Sharia was declared in 12 states of the North simultaneously in February 2000. And from that point, it became clear to everybody that these people were actually coming to maim, rape, destroy, whatever bad words you can think about it. And the Constitution helped them. They had everything on their side, helping them to hang on to everybody's lives, everybody's proper resources, because the Constitution was on their side. So in 2005, Pronaco was born. Pronaco was the first union of both South and North. Funny enough, we had Northerners there. Our present head of state,
Buhari,
Muhammadu Buhari, came to that conference, the Pronaco conference. He even contributed to it. This year, there was this other boy there, to Yerima Shetima, who is now giving the one that was giving the Igbos rules and regulations. You must leave the North, everybody must do this. He was part of that thing. We brushed him up and make him, because we thought that maybe they would be able to help the situation. But they didn't. So from Pronaco now, when Pronaco ended in 2006, we had the meeting, we had the Lagos Declaration, we continued working. Everybody was mandated to go back from Pronaco, everybody was mandated to go back to their geographical areas and try and talk to their people. That now resulted in the 2013 declaration, Lagos Declaration, held at Rita Lori Hotel in Surulere in Lagos. You know, where we all came together again, still repudiating the constitution. That continued like that. We continued because always in between, they will find some renegades among us who they will put money in their pockets, who will scuttle everything we have been working for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hope you understand what I'm talking about.
Of course.
They will scuttle everything. So, no, sorry, not 2013. The Rita Lori Declaration was 2011. You know, that was when we decided. That was when Movement for New Nigeria was born. Actually, that Movement for New Nigeria, to our own minds, was Movement for No Nigeria. But you know, because of security and everything, if we said Movement for No Nigeria as of that time, we probably have ended up in trouble. So it was Movement for a New Nigeria.
Right.
So we continued like that, working on our people, having people breaking into, infiltrating us all over every time, till God now smiled on us. And in 2015, we had the first solemn assembly in Port Harcourt, where the people of the Lower Niger Congress decided that enough was enough. They repudiated the 1999 Constitution. And they recognized that it was the one article that was holding everybody down for the Fulanis to ride over. So this was followed in 2017 by the Solemn Assembly of the Yorubas in Adamasingba, Ibadan, saying the same thing. In 2018, the Solemn Assembly was held in Makurdi by the Middle Belt, repudiating the same constitution. That same 2018 was 11th December was the Freedom Park Declaration, which video you have just played.
Right.
You know, where we affirmed all the Solemn Assembly's decisions, and we decided that enough was enough. And if you give me the time, I'll just give you our demands and that proclamation. That accordingly, we demand that in place of the general elections planned for 2019, a transitional arrangement be immediately instituted to peacefully ease out the rejected unitary constitutional order, while a body with constituent powers is also instituted to midwife the emergence of successor constitutional arrangements according to the preferences of the constituent component nationalities of Nigeria, to be ascertained by referendum and plebiscites. May we inform the political actors from the South and the Middle Belt of Nigeria that a choice must be made now between standing with the people they claim to lead, who have rejected the 1999 Constitution, and any election mandated by it, and are standing with the enemies of their people, who insist on preserving that master-servant 1999 Constitution, which enslaved and impoverished the people. Let it also be known to all, but particularly the political gladiators, merchants and foot soldiers across party lines from the South and the Middle Belt, that anyone who is prepared to swear to uphold and defend the rogue 1999 Constitution by contesting elections under it is clearly on the side of the enemies of the people.
Absolutely.
So that was what the Freedom Park, that was what led to the freedom, all these things I've said led to that Freedom Park Declaration in December 11, 2019. You know, so
Right.
does that answer your question, or you want me to?
No, it really does.
2018. Sorry, not 2019, 2018.
2018, December 11, 2018. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm gonna play the next clip. Hopefully I don't mess it up like I did the first one.
It's very clear.
Okay, before you play the next
We
clip,
made the
let me
declaration
just
saying
quickly
that
tell
it's
you
too late
that
for restructuring.
part of when Obasanjo came in 1999, and there was and Sharia was declared in 2000. What it meant in that legally was that the Northerners, those 12 northern states, by declaring this, have seceded from the secular union. You know, Nigeria legally is a secular union. It's a secular union with no religion must overshadow the other one. Right. Your religion is your personal affair. It's not a state affair. Right. But by exercise, they succeeded by exercising their right to self-determination. They wanted an Islamic caliphate and they got it. When Obasanjo was asked, why did you let them do it? He said he felt it would fizzle out, that it would not last. But it has lasted till now, and it has become a big thing now.
Right.
So,
but it goes back to the thing we're saying about our men, how they always compromise the interest of our children, the interest of our nation. It's always they play games. They play boy oh boy, boy knows boy, man knows man, good old boys network with the lives of our people.
But how do you play man no man on Sharia issue? Sharia is a serious issue now.
Right. But he was willing to give it a chance.
It affects the very fabric of our existence. Right. The very fabric of our existence, because their laws are different to the laws of Christianity, to the laws of a secular nation, to the laws of our traditional religion, which is a very what do you call it? It doesn't interfere. It leaves you to yourself to do what you want to do with your spiritual life. No, I don't know. These men.
It's sad.
You can go on.
It's sad. We are just, like I said, thank God there are women like you that are waking up and rising up to the occasion.
Like nobody like me or like you too, for presenting, for giving this platform for us to be able to talk to each other.
Right, because people think that, the Yorubas don't like the Igbos. We love our sisters and brothers just like we love ourselves. It's just that some people don't understand. For us to get out of this mess, love will win. We must come together as brothers and sisters and fight this common enemy. There's no other way.
This fight between the Igbos and the Yorubas is a deliberate narrative by the Caliphate.
Yes.
Just divide and rule. It's just a deliberate, like they keep telling us, if you see the federal government, the Igbos dominated it. They were there. I said Igbos will dominate it for one simple reason. When we were still regions, there were four regions with the federal government. I said the West paid higher salaries than all the other regions. So why on earth would somebody from the West go and work in the federal government and risk being posted around the nation for a smaller salary when you can get more sitting in your backside as it is in your own area and earn more? So the East did not pay that much. The federal government paid more than the East. So the East went federal. And they went around. So they ended up being posted around. So you have Igbos in Kano, you have Igbos in Bauchi, you have Igbos in Gombe, all working as civil servants. Not that they went there to take over people's land, not that they went there to see what was happening there, but they were posted there to work.
Right.
So what is the problem with that? It was just a narrative they were trying to. There's a clip. I wish I'd been able to lay my hand. I would have sent it. I've asked Tony to send it to you to listen to what Ahmadu Bello said about the Igbos. You can see it was a deliberate narrative to create problems between us.
Right. And we don't want it to work anymore. We mothers are understanding that's the trick.
It's not even working anymore.
Right.
With all these joint alliances we now have, we see more of each other. We talk to each other, and we realize that all those things they told us was not right. Was not right.
Auntie, I must not fail to tell you, my first Italian bag and shoe was given to me by my Yoruba sister here in Houston. She said, this girl, because I don't care about those things, she just packaged 2 sets and handed it to me. I still have it here in my closet. So we know that we are not different people. We are not looking for who to take their land. We are not looking for who to kill. When the Yoruba and the Eastern people, when we meet together, it's like we've known each other for the longest time. apart from the language barrier. So we thank God for this connection, because this is what we need to move to the next level that we are waiting for. That when we come together and get this key, we can unlock the padlock that is holding us down. So I'm gonna play the second video, which is in conjunction with the question that you just answered, just to show that you have been active in this self-determination process.
It's very clear. We made a declaration saying that it's too late for restructuring in Nigeria. You will remember in 1962, there was a massive problem in Nigeria when Awolowo was arrested. Our people talked to us. There was crisis for over 4 years that led to the coup. There was a Yoruba meeting of elders called the Yoruba Leaders of Thought. We relented. The thing continued. Yoruba has continued to lose ground since that time. In 1993, there was the annulment of the June 12 election. Shiju Ade, the former Ooni, spoke and said Yoruba should go ahead and conduct an election. We did. It led to nothing. The same thing happened 1998, just before the handover to the democratic elected government. Yoruba did not want to go for anything like Nigeria again. But then it failed. Look at where we are. Yoruba has been losing ground since 1914, and we are just tired. We are not for restructuring. It's too late for restructuring in Nigeria. It's too late for sovereign national conference. It's too late for resource control. What we want now is Oduduwa Republic, and we are very categorical about that. We have made that very clear. We have made declarations, and we are very serious about our demands. Every region just go to its own tent. Yoruba wants to be on its own, because the problem that Yoruba has is Nigeria. Nigeria is the problem, is the impediment to Yoruba development, is the impediment to Oodua development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1960, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
No, I'm sorry, I forgot to unmute again. So we're going to no. What I was saying earlier was that we are all tired. Our brother mentioned that they are tired, that they're looking for the Oduduwa nation, and everybody is looking for their own self-determination, because we know we have suffered under this Fulani Caliphate British-run government. That even no matter the amount of blood we have given, amount of lives we have given, amount of everything that we even left the land for them, for those of us auntie that left the country for them, just for them to make sure they do the right thing. It's like you're missing almost half of your population living in diaspora. Yet you can't manage the ones that are left. Nothing works. Money is always missing. Fire is always burning the house that contains the money. They are just playing games with the lives of our people. And this is happening right in front of us. And we're asking, are we really that daft? Are we really that dumb that we are seeing these people destroying our lives? And we keep saying these people are not up to 2%, auntie. They're not even up to 2% of the population. And they're holding us hostage. And if only our people can understand that. Yeah. Sister Augusta, please go ahead with the next question.
All right. Thank you so much, Sister Muna. So, to Otumba,
We hear about the we hear about the MNN alliance. We never thought there could be any alliance between the Southwest and the Southeast. Please, can you lead our viewers into both the YWC and the MNN alliance from the Yoruba perspective? The MNN allowance, as I said, was birthed in 2011 in Ritalori Hotel. Then all the self-determination groups in the Yoruba land, the one I belong to originally, I think I sent you a video of as a third video. We all got together and formed the movement for New Nigeria. And that was the movement that was on, that we were all using till we birthed the Freedom Park Proclamation. Don't forget, remember that all the three solemn assemblies from the Middle Belt, from the Yoruba land, and from the East were all individually done. Each area, each region, each area did it on their own, repudiating the Constitution. Because by that time, we have all realized that our main problem is the Constitution. It's not the people really handling it or executing it. It is that Constitution. With that Constitution, my sisters, if you put an angel in Nassau Rock, it will misbehave.
That's true.
That Constitution gives them everything. Your resources, the power over your life, the power whether you start a business, whether they can cancel your business, the power over whether you go to school or you don't go to school, whether you have electricity, you don't have electricity, it's all there in the Constitution. The Constitution is what's really tying everybody down. So by that time, we realized that it's that Constitution that has to go, which now, it was why everybody repudiated it. And then we all came together again in 2018 and made that declaration that we refuse to be governed under that Constitution anymore. No further elections will be carried out. But our people, when they see money, they become renegades. Mm-hmm. Money was given them again that time. We couldn't do much. But now, after that 2008, by 2019, as I said, once again, God smiled on us. He gave us, I met the current leader of the YWC, and I just felt he would be able to help us. And this man is a historian, he's impartial, he's non-partisan. So I told my brothers from the East that let us go and see him. Later we brought in the people from the Middle Belt. Initially it didn't work, because they had this Middle Belt, Southeast Middle Belt Forum, but eventually they saw our own side of it, and eventually YWC bought into our idea, and we now gave them the leadership. So YWC is like the leading group, supervising, or like an umbrella group over all Yoruba agitation groups, activist groups, advocacy groups, whatever. Once you are working for the interests of Yoruba land, you are we've incorporated all of them under Yoruba World Congress. Wow. So that's Yoruba World Congress on its own. The movement for New Nigeria has got, LNC has moved into their own space. The Middle Belt Forum moved into their own space. Mm-hmm. So the movement for New Nigeria is not really as active anymore. What we now have is NINAS, Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, under which we did the Freedom Park Proclamation. And so that's why. So we've all more or less now moved together. We now work together. We consult each other. All the regions consult each other. Wow. We are doing this. We want to do this. What's the timeline for this? What's this one? That's what we are trying to do now. Working as a group. Wow. You understand?
Right, right. Than an individual franchise. Yes, it makes sense.
Everybody will be fighting this battle on their own grounds. Mm-hmm. Igbos will not take over Yoruba land. Yorubas are not going to take over Middle Belt land. Ijaws will not come and take over the Midwest Igbo line or whatever they are, or Calabar. Everybody will stand on their own ground and fight this battle. But we'll do it together. You understand? Right. Because we are all reaching and hoping for the same goal: independence, ethnic independence. We want to be ethnically independent. Everybody standing. If after we've now won that, everybody now decides that we are not. All these divisions amongst us, they are artificial.
Right.
Yes.
It was the Fulanis who created like Ebonyi State, Taraba State. If you look at it, it's a mixture of Middle Belt and Eastern. They broke Yoruba up into 6 states. In like Ekiti. Ekiti State now has a whole government. There's a whole government in Kwara that's called Ekiti, which means that these people are from Ekiti. You understand? They took Kogi, in creating Kogi, they took a lot of Yoruba land. In creating Kwara, they took a lot of Yoruba land. In creating Lagos State, they took a lot of Jebu land, to create Lagos State. So they just gave us artificial barriers, which we have now seen, and we are pulling down. All those artificial barriers, we are pulling them down bit by bit. So the people in Taraba now know that those of them that are Benue, they'll probably go back to Benue by plebiscite. The ones that are Igbo will come back to Igbo land by plebiscite. But all that will be an internal decision once we have gotten our independence from Nigeria. You understand?
Yes.
So once
absolutely.
we've gone back to regional, we are hoping we may initially go for regional for the sake of peace. You understand? We go back to the regions. In which case, if we go back to the regions, everybody goes back to their 1963 constitutions and then set up their own constituent lawyers who will work it out. What is outdated there? What is now analog will be removed. We'll make it more modern, but everybody will sort out themselves and decide who they want to go with. You understand?
Right.
So the 12 northern states can stand on their own. They are big enough. They too have their own old northern constitution that they can use if they want. But nobody is giving anybody any orders. Once we sort this thing out on the negotiation table, I think everybody will be able to find their way home eventually.
And that is what we're looking for, Auntie, where we can negotiate ourselves out of this contraption.
Yes, yeah, we are going to negotiate ourselves. By the time we sort this thing out, we'll be negotiating.
Right.
We'll be negotiating. Everybody will negotiate their way out, and when they get out of it, when they get back home, they will now negotiate themselves inwardly. The Calabar is going to be one state. After all, you have nations that are less than 6 million.
Yes.
You understand?
Even 2 million.
So it doesn't really matter. Everybody can be a nation on their own if they feel they can afford it and they have the resources. And those that don't want to be a nation on them, they can join up with others. That's the beauty of what we are planning.
Right.
Nobody is going to be coerced into any regionalism or into any country that they don't want to stay in.
Right.
So there's no problem.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense because some people want war. When war comes, the children and the mothers will pay for it. Our men will die for no reason. Whereas we can, if you get to the table where decisions are being made, you can negotiate yourself out of the trouble that you find yourselves in. I almost feel like even the British government is wondering why we have not done this thing all along. Because they look at us and they're like, we call ourselves the most educated, we can even say the most traveled, yet we cannot organize ourselves to extricate ourselves.
But they are at the bottom of our problems now.
No, but they're waiting for us to do what we're doing now. They don't want
Nigeria to succeed now. They don't want us to succeed because it gives them ample opportunity to fleece us of our resources. So the British are part of our problems. In fact, they are even at the bottom of our problems.
I know, but actually what I was saying is that this thing that we are doing now, because they know that we're intelligent enough to have started this thing a long time ago. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, we were intelligent enough to have started it, but that narrative you talked about Igbo not trusting Yorubas not trusting, was what kept us from doing it.
Right.
Yes.
Now that we've gotten that out of the way now, we are able to sit down together.
Right.
Wow, that is awesome.
You.
That is awesome.
Augusta, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So let me ask my question second.
What we are doing now would not have been. Hello?
Okay,
yes. Go ahead.
So, but let me ask my next question. There is this growing excitement across Nigeria and the international community about the impending constitutional force majeure. Please, can you throw more light on this event?
You see, because of the nature of it, I won't be able to give you too much light, too many details, because we are keeping the actual details close to our chest till we are ready to sort it out. But what I can tell you is that it is the activation of the implementation of that Freedom Park proclamation. That is all we are doing. It's the next stage after I told you we started from Pronaco. After Sharia came in, we started from Pronaco, the MNN, the 3 solemn assemblies, then the proclamation, the Freedom Park proclamation. That Freedom Park is what we decided in that Freedom Park proclamation. What I read out to you is what we want to activate now. But forgive me that I won't be able to give you too many of the details. What is happening? It's going on. It's going on, and it will soon come to. We should have done it earlier in the first quarter of the year, but this global pandemic slowed us down.
It slowed everybody down.
It slowed us down. So we are going to do it, and it's going to work by God's grace. Amen. But the details of what we are actually going to do will have to stay with us till we are ready to unveil it.
But let me ask this, Otunba. The force majeure is a multi-regional thing. It's not like it's one organization trying to do something.
No. It's multinational. It's multi-regional. It's everybody doing it together. I've told you, since that Freedom Park proclamation in 2018, we've been doing everything jointly.
Wow.
Everything has been done jointly.
Wow.
Everything. Because when we did the solemn assemblies, it showed each one of us that the other part was serious. Right. We all said the same thing. Right. Right. The East repudiated the 1999 Constitution. The Yorubas did. The Middle Belt did. So we were all on the same page. And that was why we were able to come together in December 2018 to make that declaration. And having made that declaration now, all that is left for us now is to activate it and implement it. But how we are going to do it, leave it to us. When we get there, you will know.
It's even better, Mr. Otunba. It's even better because some people may hijack it before you know it. So
they may hijack it. They may throw dollars at some of our people, and you find that they start looking the other way.
Right.
With the almighty dollar, money is a problem. They've impoverished a lot in that country.
Right.
They will start a pure water business, my sister. This is in Nigeria. 20 different government agencies will condescend on you. You pay tax here, tax this, that. By the time they finish with you, all your profit is gone. They will make sure you don't get anything out of it. So it's a big problem.
This place is the definition of hell.
So people are impoverished. There is no ready cash around. So anytime any money comes in from anywhere, they say, "I beg, John, let me survive." And that's the thing they play on.
Right.
That somewhere, they will find somebody who needs money and who's ready to tag along with them because of money.
Mm-hmm. That is true. So
that's why we don't want the details out so that they don't throw money at anybody and get that person to start misbehaving.
Right. Right. It makes sense.
Thank you so much, Otunba. We are really excited and very pleased to have you in this program. You've opened our eyes into so many things. We appreciate you. And I like your intelligence and the way you dodge some things that shouldn't come out. It really shows, that's the woman's tactic. Women, when they are up to something, they say, hold on, the soup is coming. We'll bring it up.
The soup is coming. The soup is coming. Well cooked soup is coming.
Thank you so much.
What we say, that's why.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. I didn't know you existed or anything like that till I saw your invitation. And I really appreciate the fact that you gave me the opportunity to talk. And especially to explain to you that Yorubas, we are not the Ngbati that people call us. I know you people don't trust Yorubas for a long time, but We are not that bad. We are not that bad.
At all. At all.
We are not that bad. Every nation has its own bad eggs.
Right.
But I don't think we have more than others. I don't think Yorubas have more than others.
Right.
A lot of us are hardworking, we are truthful, we are honorable. But you know, one bad egg can spoil the whole basket. That's always the.
That's always.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, by implication, all that we've been discussing, what I'm sensing is that the southern and the middle belt constituent, the components of Nigeria, that more or less they are suing for divorce. With this constitutional force majeure, they are suing for divorce from the Lugadian marriage of 1994. So, please, ma'am, can you give our viewers an insight?
1914.
Yeah, 1914. Can you give our viewers more insight into how Nigeria arrived at this sorry state? How did we get to this point?
That marriage, like I told you, in 1914, was an arrangement. It was this company, UAC, that sold either UAC or it sold Nigeria to Britain. It was a business enterprise. They had no regard for us. They didn't even think of what they were doing or anything. They sat down in Berlin at the Berlin because they carved up Africa.
Yes,
so Nigeria, right. what they call Nigeria fell to the British. So we now had this Lord Lugard coming in as a businessman to see what he could do, and he discovered that the Northerners were more amenable to what they wanted to do than the Southerners. We were more enlightened, we were more educated, so they saw that we were difficult, but we had all the means. We were the lady of means that they were referring to, that they wanted. So they decided that it's better. They had, we started out as Northern Protectorate, Southern Protectorate. They now decided it was better to marry the two of us together so that the North will have access to our money to support themselves. And they will now sit down and collect dividends from it. Till today, they are still collecting dividends. All these UAC, most of this John Major, Tony Blair, their fathers worked here in Nigeria. Some of them even worked here themselves. So, till today, you will not believe it that they are still collecting dividends from our companies. Before the dividend they declare in the newspaper, they've given them their own share.
Wow.
They were living in Kaduna, in the GRA, so they were there, and so that's why they don't want Nigeria to break up, because they make money. You need to know the amount of crude oil they lift from this nation every day without paying that the North allows them to move. No Southerner will allow that. Will a Niger man allow them to be taking his oil like that without paying? They won't. But they needed a way of sustaining themselves. So that was why they set up Nigeria. It was a business enterprise. And gradually, when the people became more educated, they started fighting for their rights. And Ahoro, Awolowo, Zik, they saw that something was wrong. That even Ahmadu Bello, who is from the North, said that it's a mistake. Nigeria was the mistake of 1914. He himself admitted it was a mistake, but he had to live with it. So he said it will become what do you call
Grandfather's
it now? An estate of his great grandfather, Usman Danfodio. So that's the way they've been seeing it since that time, that they own Nigeria.
They are born to rule.
And they've been doing it till we now get to where Buhari, and where ISIS became a problem. They know America was chasing them here. Every other nation was chasing them. They needed a place to sleep. If you know the history of the Fulanis, they really didn't have a homeland. They operated from Senegal, Futajalon, to Cameroon, and they created a trading corridor for them that, according to the weather conditions, when it's raining, when it's dry, they bring their cattle down, grazing it, then they go back. When it becomes dry in Cameroon, they start going back. That's the way they've lived for years. But when they now came, when a few of them, now Usman Danfodio now came and conquered the northern tribes. And the northern Nigeria belonged to different tribes. The Hausas, there was no Hausa tribe. I don't remember their names, but Hausa was their common language. So that's why they call them Hausas. There's no tribe called Hausa. It's their language that is Hausa. He came, defeated them. From defeating them, he defeated our own person too in Kwara, in Ilori. They annexed everything together. They started having a homeland. From there, now over the years now, they needed to give a homeland to their people in West Africa. You know, the other Fulanis in West Africa. They too wanted to settle down. And that's where our problem with them started. So this Boko Haram thing was a matter of survival. They wanted to drive us from our villages, from our place, and so that they can move in and settle there. In all the places they've driven the Middle Belt people, they've given them new names. Those people are not going back home, except we managed to swing what we are doing now. They've already moved there. They are living there. They've renamed the place. And those people are going to live in IG camps for the rest of their lives, except we move in and say, no, it's not going to happen. So that's how we got into this mess. The Fulanis wanted a homeland, and luckily for them, Buhari came in. That's why Buhari kept trying to become president, kept on trying. He needed, all his main focus was a homeland for his people.
Right.
And when he finally got in 2015, they started, free visa on arrival, Fulani owns everything. Even before he became president, he went to fight Lamadeshino in Ibadan. That's why are you killing my people? Everything. So, it's just a matter of survival. So except we are ready to give up our land to them, I don't know where they are, because we, at least, the people can come down here for us IDP. Where are we Yorubas going to go? Where are you Igbos going to go? Are you going to enter the Atlantic Ocean or the right of the? Who will give you? So that was why we had to lend ourselves a brain, like my people will say. Lend ourselves brain and decide that we have to fight back. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll be left swimming in the Atlantic Ocean. And nowhere to go.
And so that's how we got into
it. That's how we got into it. They wanted land for their people. That's the bottom line. Any other story they tell you, my sisters, is just fabrication. Their bottom line is that they needed land for their homeless Fulani brothers in the Sahara and the West African region. Everybody is fighting them. Ghana is throwing them out. Mali is throwing them out. Niger is throwing them out. Nobody wants them because they become very violent, very problematic. So with their brother as president here, they are hoping they'll be able to overrun Nigeria.
Wow.
Wow. That's how we got into this state, and it's even worse. All they are taking money, spending money. It's not even important, because it's when you are alive you spend money. Let us get them out of our hair first. If they come into your state now, after we've renegotiated, if they come in, they know they are visitors. You understand? It's not as if you are going to tell them, don't come into Igbo land, don't come into Yoruba land. But at least they will know they are visitors. They are no longer born to rule us.
Right.
That thing has to go. We have to get that thing out of their minds.
Right.
Yeah. Right. They are there. They are coming as visitors, selling their cows or whatever else they want to sell, and they go back. Or even if they live here, live as immigrants. You understand?
Yeah. Know your place. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your space. Everything. They've had it before now. All the places called Sabo, Zango, Kataf, they were all their places. This is where they settled before. And they were roughly peaceful. They weren't given any problems, really. Till this problem of ISIS coming in, needing a space to govern, to set up their headquarters. And they decided Nigeria was a good place to set up their headquarters, because their people are already living there.
All right, Auntie, I'm going to play the next audio.
We have to say no. We really have to say no to them. They cannot do it.
Our lives depends on this, so we really have to do the needful.
Because otherwise, that's true. We are fighting for our lives now. Because they just walk in, they kill, and they go.
On August 22nd,
report to the police will not do anything. But kill one Fulani man, the whole village is in shock.
It's unbelievable.
It's a big problem. It's a big problem, and we have to fight. And that's the only way we can do it. If you all come together to do it. Absolutely. But if one region does it, if the Yorubas do it, they can easily isolate us. If the Igbos do it, they can isolate you.
Right.
The Middle Belt, they can isolate. But if you all band together,
and that is the alliance that we are talking about.
That's the alliance. That's the alliance we are talking about. That's why we needed that alliance.
Right.
For everybody to be alive. Because if you are not alive, what land are you protecting?
It's sad. Okay, I'm going to play the next
On August
clip,
22nd,
video
2019, Banji Akintoye, a professor and former senator, was appointed the head of the assembly.
Which one is that?
And that's the one, the inaugural press conference by Professor Banji Akintoye, the one you referred to that time, when you referred to your YWC.
The chief imam of
So we want to see you be able to play a clip just to show, our people.
That we now have a leader. Yorubas now have a leader.
Exactly.
Your people used to complain before that we Yorubas were the problem in Nigeria. We didn't have a leader who will speak for us that everybody will accept. So we now have somebody. We now have a proper leader now.
Awesome.
YWC. So we want to see you be able to play a clip just to show, our people.
That we now have a leader. Yorubas now have a leader.
Exactly.
The people used to complain before that we Yorubas were the problem in Nigeria. We didn't have a leader who will speak for us that everybody will accept. So we now have somebody. We now have a proper leader now.
Awesome. Okay, the video is playing. It's only 3 minutes.
So we want to see you be able to play a clip just to show, our people.
That we now have a leader. Yorubas now have a leader.
It's recording. I don't know why.
The people used to complain before that we Yorubas were the problem in Nigeria. We didn't have a leader who will speak for us that
The video is not playing.
Oh,
It's our voice that is recording.
Oh.
no. Is it playing now? Okay, the video is playing. It's only 3 minutes.
It's recording. I don't know why.
It's what? I'm not hearing you. What are you saying? Is it playing now?
Okay, it's recording. I don't know. It's on a loop. It's on a loop.
It's like
Okay.
in a loop. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't save it right. So I can actually stop it and we can go back to Zoom. So we go ahead with your next
Can
question.
I play it here?
No, it's not necessary. Go ahead with the.
No, we'll just manage it.
Okay.
Just to show something.
On August 22nd, 2019, Banji Akintoye, a professor and former senator, was appointed the head of the Assembly of all Yoruba groups worldwide. The delegates of the Yoruba groups who convened in Ibadan on August 22nd chose Mr. Akintoye for the position. Mr. Akintoye was nominated by Abdurrahim Aduamigba, the chief imam of Yoruba in Ilorin, based on what was described as his contributions to the development of the Yoruba race. He was elected at the age of 84 to lead the group. Speaking at a press conference in Lagos, Mr. Akintoye said he accepted the position after consulting with his family and close friends and with a broad spectrum of notable Yoruba personalities.
The danger facing our Yoruba nation as staggering. We are faced by nothing less than an invasion of our ancestral homeland and by unrelenting harassment and killings of our people on our farms, villages, and islands. In the atmosphere of the ethnic cleansing that is going on in Nigeria, many of our people can no longer be sure of basic safety in their daily lives. More and more of our farming folks are abandoning farming altogether. The danger of food insecurity, even the danger of economic collapse, stares us in the face. By day, there are reports that large numbers of armed militiamen are being infiltrated into our forests and our towns and cities in all parts of our homeland in the Nigerian southwest and in Kwara and Kogi states. Our people have reason to fear. Our people have reason to fear that the infiltrated forces are always waiting for a signal from somewhere. They don't set and coordinated attack on us in our farmlands, our roadways, our towns and cities.
Mr. Akintoye expressed gratitude to all stakeholders, considering you were here.
Sorry, viewers, we just had to manage what we could, just for us to see, like when you say show and tell. And by the way, all the videos that were played in this show that are on YouTube, you can type the name and get the full version so that you understand that what we're saying, that it's real. So, Otumba, from what we've been discussing, it seems that the Yorubas are now well organized. They have a well organized push. And can you please explain to our viewers the role of women in this struggle for independence, please?
Like one of my sisters has said, we women, we are more positive when it comes to this kind of thing because we think of our children, we think of our tomorrow, whereas most of our men, they think of today. So a lot of women are actually working on this project for us. We have really, really elderly women, professors, like the first female librarian in Yoruba land. She's there. She's there for us. Another one, Mrs. Bolanle Awe, Professor Tomo Ogunseye. We have so many of them like that. We also have several ladies now who are leading their own groups under YWC. They have their own groups, but the groups have been incorporated under YWC. Like in my own, I have a director who's a lady. We have executive members who are ladies. In fact, they are doing very well. In fact, in my own estimation, I hope the men won't get annoyed. We women are doing far better than the men right now.
As usual.
As far as I'm concerned.
As usual.
We are doing a lot better than the men. And we just put together a women's forum. Women, we call ourselves women of substance, in the sense that whatever you have that you can contribute to Yoruba land, you are welcome. We want not just to come and like the political women, the politicians who dance and sing and sing praises of all these politicians. No,
I know.
We don't do that.
Nah.
We don't do that. That's why we call ourselves women of substance. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have former deputy governors, we have, a few deputy governors. The deputy governor at the end of they are not really political. They are mostly apolitical. That's why they end up cheating them, especially when they are women. So we have a few of them like that. But most of the women are on their own, lawyers, doctors, traders, business women who are struggling on their own, trying to raise their families, trying to improve the standard of living of their families and of their communities. And they are really, really trying. They are really trying, educating other women to do things right, to not to do things the way the men are doing it. They are really trying, If I had known I would be asked that question in detail, I probably have brought you a list of quite a lot of them. But I've given you the names of those that are, the two names I gave you, they are really elderly women, all in their 80s. And yet they are still working. They are still working for the betterment of Yoruba land.
Right. It sounds like the job is divided. It's not like under one man's control or one man's franchise. So from what you said, it's like you have this Yoruba World Congress and you have people doing different things, putting the puzzle together so that we can complete the puzzle. So, and you're not there to worship anybody or anything. You're there to get the work done because we have no more time to waste.
No, we don't operate like the politicians. We are non-partisan. Our focus is Yoruba land. Just like I'm sure the women of Benue too, their focus will be Middle Belt. The women in the Lower Niger, their focus will be Lower Niger Congress, the territories there to improve the place. That is what the women we are trying to do. We want to improve the place, improve our Omoluabi, get our children out of cultism, get them out of cyber crime, get them out of prostitution. I'm sure you must know there are a number of ladies now that are being trafficked abroad.
Yes.
It's poverty. If it's not poverty, why would any woman go and be even if it's to be a housemaid and not be sexually harassed? Why would anybody go and be a housemaid in Lebanon? When she can be a housekeeper in Nigeria. She can do the same job in Nigeria and get paid now. And live a more decent life. I'm not saying that everybody is going to become rich, but whatever you do, one should be able to do it well. Whether we become a rich nation or not, we will still need cleaners. We still need people nannies to look after our children. We still need women as cooks. Not everybody will be a lecturer in the university.
No.
Will be a doctor. But at least a nanny should be well looked after. She should be well paid for her services so that she too can go home and run her own home. You understand?
Right.
A housekeeper should be like my own housekeeper now. She comes in 3 times a week. She's married. She has 4 children. She goes back to her house. She doesn't sleep in my house. She has a life of her own. That's the kind of thing I want to see happening all over our ethnic nationalities. Everybody should have a life of their own, earn an income that is sufficient to maintain them and give them a decent life, which is practically impossible now with the situation we are in.
Right. Right.
All
right, callers. So, listeners, we are ready to take few phone calls. Our lines are open. Ms. Otumba will answer your questions. We can answer your questions. So call us if you have any questions on the things that we have discussed today. As you can see, we have built that bridge. One of the topics that we discussed previously on this show was building that bridge. To connect with people that matter, not to connect with miscreants that will pull you back, to connect with people that matter, people that are thinking what you're thinking, people that want what you want, and in that unison we will get what we are looking for. We will achieve our ultimate goal, which is to get this freedom. So we thank our sisters back home and the Yoruba nation working assiduously to ensure that these sufferings come to stop. And then we want to encourage our sisters in the eastern part of the region to stop playing games and thinking that it's one person that will do this. Our sister gave a very good example of how everybody is doing what they can for this self-determination process. Okay, so yes, we have a caller. Okay, caller, your name and where you're calling from.
To accept, press 1.
Oh. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Okay, the phone got disconnected. So caller, your phone got disconnected. So yeah, so call us and ask questions, because we are really serious about this. This is not about name calling. This is not about one man or one woman. This is about the future of our children. We really have to get this right. We really have to do this right. And do what works. We cannot be emotional about it. We cannot turn into name callings. We thank our auntie this morning for coming out to discuss this in further detail. The amount of work, monumental work that they have done in this restoration project, you will be surprised. I wonder if my phone number, please. So the phone number is listed.
Call from.
The phone number is listed on our topic today. Caller, your name and where you're calling from.
Good afternoon.
Good day.
My name is Engineer Samuel.
Okay.
I'm calling from Sierra Leone.
Welcome.
I have a question to ask. I am Igbo man. You, Munachi, is an Igbo woman. And we all are fighting for the same self-determination. I am not an IPOP member. I'm not a loyal Niger member. But all I'm asking is that how can we get out of this mess? Because Fulani is already decided now to take over every land of Igbo and the Yorubas. Please, I need an answer, please.
So, did you listen to what we talked about today? What Mrs. Otumba talked about today? The work that they are doing for this liberation process, taking the constitution down.
I am listening.
So, what other way? We mentioned on our show here that there are 2 ways you can get this thing done. You can get it done through the legal process, or you can get it through war. And we are choosing the process of the option of going through the legal process. So legal process means taking down this constitution that is holding us down. Taking down this constitution that is allowing the Fulanis, Buhari, to drop his brothers in the middle of the night in our homeland. Taking back our land that belongs to us. Doing what was. Without this constitution, if you go and run an election, you are still under this constitution. They will continue to be born to rule you. They will continue to destabilize you. So since you guys don't have the ammunition for war, because a lot of people want war, And when this war comes, it's our children, our mothers and children that will suffer the blunt of it. And we're saying, why don't we do what works? This is some work they have been doing all along. They've been doing this now for almost 21 years, and they have their Freedom Park proclamation in December. And we are looking for a constitutional force majeure that is universal, that is going to be the whole region back home involved in it, to say that we reject this constitution that is holding us down, and we want to do what is fair to us, because the constitution is not fair to us. So that's how we're going to get it done.
I have another question. You know, there's something that I hear Tony Nadi say about constitution, and I want to ask: you see, Nigeria constitution nobody is going to amend it.
We're not talking about amendment. We're talking about taking it down.
Nigeria constitution. I'm telling you with the both of my heart, because I have worked in Nigeria as a student. I've worked in Nigeria with all my children in the United States studying. Some of them are in England studying. So I have the reason why I ask this question is that I know Nigeria better way more than any other. Even you know me more Nigeria more than any other. But you see Nigeria constitution, anybody that told you that Nigeria constitution is going to be amended.
We didn't say amend, sir. We didn't say amendment. You see, are you listening, brother? We never said amendment. We said to take it down.
I'm not a bro. Listen. I'm not a brother. I am a 67-year-old man.
Okay, so we are not acting age. We are not counting ages here. Okay, we're just having a conversation. You're an adult and I am an adult. So what I'm trying to tell you is that we never say to amend the constitution. We say to take down. Take down constitution is not amending constitution. So those are two different things that we need to differentiate in what we're saying. Okay, so you see, this is the problem that we keep having with our people. They will be listening and hearing something else.
Because their minds are already preconditioned.
Yes. Caller, your name and where you're calling from. Please turn down your device.
Take down constitution is not amending constitution.
Sir, can you turn down the device? Hello? Hello? Yes, you are on. Please, your name and where you're calling from.
Oh, this is Tochukwu from London. Thank you very much. You guys were talking about earlier, sorry, you ladies were talking about earlier about what is holding us down. I think one of the things as well that is holding us down is psychological. For example, there is no respect yet, enough respect yet for our women. Can you imagine kind of insults that people are hurling on our women here? Women still have no say in our society. So there's a lot of things that we have to work on. Anyway, with regards to what we are talking about today, my question is, especially to you guys that have been in the IPOB before, how can we get over this order of IPOB and LNC? Because it's actually holding us back. It's a lot of rancor. A lot of rancor, which is not moving us forward as much as we want to. How are we going to bridge this gap? How are we going to bring peace in order for us to move forward? Because all this rancor, I don't see any need for it. There is no need for it. IPOB, to be honest, I'm not a member of it, but being honest, I think Nnamdi Kanu speaks truth to power. He has that microphone to speak truth to power. He tells people what is actually going on there in Nigeria. And I believe that's why most people follow him, because he speaks that truth to power. At the same time, LNC doesn't want Nigeria to fall into anarchy before we achieve what we wanted to achieve. They want to go towards it.
Okay, sir. We're getting a lot of phone calls. Just minimize your Randall. What is your question really? Because you're talking about.
My question is, how do we bridge this gap? How do we bring about the peace? How do we move forward?
Can I answer him, please?
Okay, our sister.
Okay, thank you very much, caller.
Achieve what we want to achieve now.
Okay,
yes.
Caller.
Will still continue. We don't want to live in a country where we are constantly on top of each other.
Caller, my sister will address you, so please.
Thank you very much, caller. And that's what we're doing, because we find out that why the gap you're noticing is due to ignorance. They don't know what the diagnosis is, and if you don't know what the diagnosis is, you will not know what the treatment is. And that's why we have Otumba here. Please, let's not ignore our guests. Callers, please, we have a guest in the house. Ask her questions. Discuss what we're discussing today, please. This show is not about IPOB LNC. Please, there's a lady in the house. Let's begin to respect women, like you said. She's here to give us the aspects of Yoruba in what LNC MNN is doing. And that's why she's here. She doesn't know anything about IPOB. She's not part of it. So, but what she's part of is LNC MLN Alliance, and she will answer questions on those. And that is this. What we're doing in this program, in this our talk show, is to bridge that gap. Because, like we said, ignorance is the main thing that is making people not to do the right thing. If you get to know what the disease is, you will understand what the treatment. You will know that shouting around is not the treatment. That what Otumba has spent over 1 hour now to explain to us is where we're going. And it will be fine if our people begin to listen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sister. Caller, your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Okay.
I love what you people are doing. To me, I just have a little question to ask. In terms of you people mentioned something.
We can hear. Can you hear?
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear him either.
You can hear him. Can you hear him now?
No, we
Brother,
can't hear
try
him.
again. Go ahead. What about now?
Then,
Sisters, can you hear her? Hear him?
LNC.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a Lower Niger Congress, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and this year you people are going for, right?
The what? Repeat that.
Hello?
Yes.
I said the LNC, is it what you people are agitating for, or you people are agitating for Biafra? I just want to know.
Okay, we are not agitating. We are working towards our independence. And we are following the legal means.
Okay.
Because we are not the only members of Nigeria. There's a sovereign nation called Nigeria. The world recognizes that sovereign nation to today because of the constitution. So we, not being the only members of Nigeria, have chosen to work with other federating blocks of that nation called Nigeria. And our sister here is from the Yoruba bloc. And we want our people, our callers, please, to ask us some questions to understand what the Yorubas are doing in this independence. We are seeking independence for all indigenous peoples within Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay. My last question, please. My last question. I saw what you people posted here, and the Yoruba people, they are calling themselves Oduduwa. So I am an Igbo man. So is it a crime if we call ourselves Biafrans? That's my last question.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Sister, you want to answer that?
Yeah, so like we have said severally in this show, our region is a multilingual region, multi-ethnic region. So because of that, you need what you call charter of relationship before you can actually get a name that you want to answer. It's a little bit different from the Yorubas. Yorubas are mono-linguistic area. They have just Yoruba. So it's easier for them to say this. This is Yoruba, this is Oduduwa. So in our own aspect, because of that, we don't want to step on people's toes. We don't want to seem to be conquering some people. We don't want to be seen as trying to step over some boundaries, trying to take people against their will. So we will come together in that whole region and have charter of relationship.